Increase efficiency of security operations by combining Tanium's real-time visibility and control with the Microsoft Sentinel cloud-native SIEM solution. Welcome back to Go-Tanium Tech Talks. I'm your host, Ashley McGlone, and as we get started today, you know what's coming first. Yes, it's a promotion for Converge. You've only got a couple more months to hear me talk about Converge because it's such an awesome event, because I love meeting people like you in person at Converge. We hope that you can be there this year. Go to converge.tanium.com to sign up. That's where you're going to get the Capture the Flag event that people love to experience in person at Converge, the labs. You'll hear from our main stage keynote speakers and the executives of Tanium about what's coming next and what's exciting coming down the pipe. So please go out there and sign up for Converge today. I hope that we can see you there. Now, today's show, I have a special guest who's not been on the show before. Sam Rajchudamani is our Senior Director of Portfolio Strategy, and he's here to talk about some Microsoft integration. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, Microsoft and Tanium, is this cats and dogs living together? No, we've been doing this for a long time, right? Think about in threat response, we can ingest Defender alerts there in threat response. We've got the Enforce platform for managing things like App Blocker and group policy and things like that. And not to mention all just the native OS automation that happens on top of Microsoft products from the Tanium platform. So here, what we're going to talk about today is something new and exciting that Sam gets to tell us about. Sam, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ashley. It's great to be here.
You've got an interesting role here at Tanium. You get to play with all the cutting edge new things. Tell us a little bit about your role here.
I'm part of our portfolio strategy team here at Tanium. And in that capacity, as you said, we get to do a little bit of everything. And our current focus, though, as a team is building and growing a partnership with Microsoft. And we're really responding to a long, ask from our customers when we're doing this, right? Because a lot of our customers are using the Tanium platform alongside Microsoft capabilities every day. And it's a common source of customer feedback that we get to say, how do we use both tools together and both capabilities and ecosystems together to get that joint value and manage our environment. And that's really what our team is looking out to do, is building on top of what we've already done for a lot of years, as you just said, and growing that capability set for our customers to take advantage of.
That's a common recurring theme on this show, is that we listen to customers and then we take what they've given us and we make it happen. So we've had a lot of customers asking for this type of specific integration because they're used to that real-time visibility control from Tanium, and now they've got the breadth of this Microsoft SIEM platform in the cloud. So they want to see those two things come together. And as an engineer, I can imagine there's a lot of API stuff that could happen to make these things talk and do some really cool stuff. And that's what you're here to show us today, is this latest integration, right?
Exactly. So the integration that I'm here to show today is one that we just recently released with Microsoft Sentinel. And the goal here really is to help our customers take all the data that Tanium has to offer, especially in the likes of threat response and the alerts that we have, but also device posture generally, into the Sentinel platform, which acts as both as a SIEM and a SOAR for a lot of our customers, so that they can more efficiently understand the true state of alerts in their environment, investigate them, triage them, in the scope of all of the other alerts that are coming in to their SIEM from other systems that are not Tanium. And then also orchestrate actions back, right? What we want to do is give our customers the ability to take the real-time capabilities of Tanium, both in bringing data together and taking action back on the endpoint, and make that a part of this vast Microsoft ecosystem of data, telemetry, machine learning, analytics, correlation, to really drive efficiency for them on the security side of their environment.
So Sam just used two terms there, SIEM and SOAR. SIEM is going to be your security incident and event monitoring, which basically collates all these different event sources from around the enterprise. And then SOAR, your security orchestration automation response platform, which allows you to automate responses to the data that you're seeing there and take action. And we know that Tanium helps a lot, so we can help as a data source, providing data to the SIEM. We do that with lots of products, but then also with the automation, the endpoint control, the SOAR aspect of that. Now Tanium can hook from Sentinel into Tanium to take control of those endpoints. Did I get that right, Sam?
You absolutely nailed it.
I'm really eager to see this. I've got a little teaser inside here at Tanium a while back, and I thought, oh wow, my audience is going to love to see this. So without any further ado, can we dive in and take a look at what this is going to do?
Absolutely. What we'll show is the full workflow that we've brought together as we take all that Tanium brings from endpoints and then the Sentinel platform that a lot of our customers are using as their primary SIEM and SOAR. Where this really starts is that Tanium will become a third-party connector for Sentinel. And so our customers will be able to go in and just as part of their workflow, be able to find Tanium as with any other connector that comes into their Sentinel platform. And it'll be a click of the button on this side to get that set up. But really, what we're doing on this with this integration is the first part is sending information from Tanium to the Sentinel platform. And that comes in two forms. The first part is workbooks. So with workbooks, the intention here is to provide overtime data. And what Tanium, we're doing the same thing, which is we're giving customers the ability to look at the state of their environment over time as Tanium sees it and knows it, right? So this includes how have we seen Intel alerts come in over time? What types of alerts is Tanium seeing by user, by process name, really to give an overview of what Tanium knows about the environment. But it's not just about the security alerts. The security alerts is where the SIEM has a lot of data already, probably in Sentinel coming in from other tooling for our customers. But what we're looking to enrich that is with unique data that Tanium also can bring to bear around the compliance and vulnerability status of the endpoint. So understanding where are the critical vulnerabilities, where are the top operating systems, what does the vulnerability distribution look like in this environment, so as to give context to the SOC analyst or the security engineer to understand what is the state of their environment and what has it been over time. And this continues, right? Whether that's the state of the inventory of the environment itself, whether that's understanding the agents deployed on the systems and how those are performing. Really, the goal here is to give our customers that context that Tanium has inside the Sentinel platform so that there's less switching between UIs and switching between tools. There's more data in a place that can be acted upon and used in the context of investigating, triaging, and prioritizing individual alerts, which is where we'll go to next.
I like that. So you're reducing the downtime for the SOC by the flipping between tools. That's the part that gets you, right? That's the lost time when you have to go ramp into another tool, authenticate, go reestablish the context of where you're operating, and then do the other thing in that other tool. We know teams have lots of tools, but doing this now, bringing the power of these two platforms together is going to, like you said, really enhance the efficiency of the teams, it looks like.
Absolutely. And that's the goal here. And that continues, right? I think this shows the high level overview of the environment, but that sort of efficiency increase also goes down to the individual alert. And this is really where a lot of our customers spend most of their time in Sentinel is they're bringing together all of the alerts, whether those are endpoint based or identity based or cloud based, and they're left with this long list of alerts that they're using Sentinel to triage and prioritize and investigate further. And what we want to do as Tanium is give them the data points that they need to investigate faster and more efficiently, so that they can understand whether the alert that they're seeing truly matters to their environment. And if it does, we give them the ability to take action as quickly as possible. So what do we mean by that, though? What we mean by that here is, in this environment, we have a few high severity alerts that have come in, and the customer will be able to understand the full details of this alert. So in this case, these alerts are actually coming in from Tanium. So we're not only enriching existing alerts, but we're sending all of the threat response alerts that our customers would get directly into the Sentinel platform. And this is done purely through a connect integration to the Sentinel instance of our customers. So the other setup process here would be they'd go into connect, and it would be a new destination where they'd be able to send all of the threat response alerts, really any saved question can be sent over to the Sentinel platform for view in Sentinel. So when they see the alerts, they're able to get all of the context of the alert itself in terms of what endpoints is it impacting, what is the process of the alert itself. Sentinel has very interesting capabilities around looking at similar incidents that they've seen to this, looking at the timeline if there is one associated with more complex alerts. And so that you immediately see the joint value here, which is Tanium is detecting something on the endpoint, it's coming up to Sentinel, and it's getting put in context of all the other things that Sentinel knows about outside of just the endpoint alerts, but really everything that the organization is looking to correlate.
So you're combining the Microsoft Defender for endpoint type alert data, but then you add on top of that the heuristics of Tanium signals, looking at behavior analysis on the machine, not just static IOCs or indicators of compromise, but then you can also see those behavioral things where process A launches process B, launches process C, and oh, wait a minute, now that looks interesting. And we can see that here to enrich that context. I really like the story so far.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't stop there, right? In classic infomercial terms, but wait, there's more. Here, a lot of just the information about the alert is often not enough to understand the impact of that alert. And so what we wanted to do is give customers the ability to get information about the impacted devices in real time at Tanium speed, as we like to call it. And so in the case of these alerts, customers have the ability to run what we call playbooks. And playbooks are really on-demand actions that are taking advantage of the Tanium API and bringing back real-time information about the endpoint to aid in the investigation process for the operator. So you see that we're shipping here in version 1 with a few default. For example, being able to look at this endpoint, Windows endpoint here, and perhaps we want to know what comply findings it has, or understanding what the agent status is of Defender or SCCM on that endpoint. All of those are capabilities that can be run on demand. So in this case, if we were able to run a playbook, and this is fully extensible, right? You'll see that this happens at Tanium speed. So we'll go into the alert, we'll look at the comments here, and we'll refresh it. And what you'll see is the comply findings have come back in just that second right there of here are all of the compliance findings associated with this endpoint at this point in time, to say, all right, not only do I know about this alert, but I also know all of the configuration compliance capabilities on this alert that I'd want to know. And maybe that impacts my investigation or remediation process.
So I can see then that the machine's not configured to policy correctly, which is why the door is open for this incident to happen.
There exactly is, right? So it gets you to root cause potentially faster. is our goal. Again, you're not switching between, a lot of our customers today switch to Tanium to ask a question and get this information. But reducing that overhead and increasing that efficiency is the goal here in the enrichment process, but also the action process, right? So a common action that we take in investigations all the time is quarantining hosts. So why require our customers to switch into Tanium and quarantine a host in seconds? Why not give them the ability to just run a playbook and do that now from the context of Sentinel? And this is version 1 of actions that could be taken, right? This is quarantine, but tomorrow, next week, in the next version of this, we're really looking to bring in other actions that Tanium can take on the endpoint as well. Whether that is, patching the system or rebooting the system or, turning off a service, whatever that may be, that could be useful to the operator at this time to remediate. We want to give them that at their fingertips so that they can make use of it.
Well, again, this is a tale as old as time. That's why we love doing this show. People ask for it, and we've given it to them. And not only have we given it to them, we've given it to them in a way that's extensible. So if they don't like what's in the box, they can always roll their own. And that's, again, what I know I've plugged Converge too many times, but that's why I love going to Converge to see what people have built, where they've taken, we give them the Lego blocks like this, and then we watch what they build, and it's fantastic. And I know we've got some great sessions lined up on other things customers have built, but I'm really curious to see what customers are going to do with this, because it just opens the door for so much in the automation and orchestration.
Yeah, speaking of which, speaking of automation, and that's where I'm most excited about this too, Ashley, is we've given a lot of building blocks here and we're continuing to add to it. But what we've given the building blocks to is really automation. Because all what we've talked about so far is really ad hoc investigation of an individual alert, enrichment of the individual alert, and being able to say, drill in, figure out whether the individual alert matters and take action on it. But a security operations center isn't dealing with 1 or 2 alerts, they're dealing with thousands, right? And that's where automation really becomes very important. And that's what Sentinel provides, and that's what we can hook into as Tanium, which is not just these individual playbooks, but really stringing together these playbooks in the form of automation rules. So if there are known patterns here, the customers can start taking advantage of this to say, if a specific automation rule comes in on a particular endpoint or type of endpoint, being able to immediately run a playbook to get additional information, say compliance findings on it, but perhaps if it warrants it, run another playbook to quarantine the endpoint right away. All of these are actions that they can apply for any amount of time to again increase efficiency, right? The end-to-end automation capabilities here, I think, will really benefit our customers because they'll be able to go from detection to remediation, perhaps with very minimal touch, and that's the goal.
Yeah, I wonder if you were excited enough as you explained that, because I've seen this where our customers love threat response, but then they're lacking that automation piece on top of it to do exactly what you're describing here, where you get an alert of a specific type. Okay, now I want to go run a live response data collection against that endpoint. Now all this can happen automatically with this automation layer on top of it. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's all about saving time and adding data to the process while we're doing it, so that our customers can be more efficient.
Now, before we run out of time here, I know there's several questions in people's minds as they're watching this right now. How do I get this is the number one question. The
Sentinel integration, we're a connector for the Sentinel platform. And so what you'll be able to do is, if you go into Azure Marketplace and look for the Sentinel connectors, you'll be able to see Tanium right there and download it directly from there. Also, in Connect, Once you upgrade to the latest version, you'll see Sentinel as a connect destination, new connect destination. So then you'll be able to start sending threat response alerts, other safe questions, whatever you'd like up to Sentinel, and start taking advantage of what we've built. But as always, I think we're available. Your TAMs are available to support the initial setup process and get your feedback, because we think that there's a lot that we can add to this. And so as you enable this through those means, we'd love to hear about it.
And then the next question is cloud versus on-prem. Is there any, is that supported in both places? Is there any difference in the experience?
Great question. So it's supported in both places in terms of sending data to Sentinel from Tanium via Connect. That should work seamlessly across on-prem and cloud. For the reverse, which is the action taking capability, there is a forwarder currently in there that allows the connection back into Tanium. That is easier done in cloud than on-prem, but it's possible on both. We just ask that you reach out to your TAM and we'll help you through that setup process.
I'm really interested to know. So I've now, as a customer, I've tried this. I like it, but I've got some feedback. How can I let you know what I see for opportunities here for either bugs or feature enhancements?
Yeah, I would say reach out to your TAM and feed it back to us that way. What we'll do is, as soon as we hear from your TAM, we will probably come knocking on your door for a 15-minute call or 30-minute call to really understand your feedback. But that's the great first place to go is reach out to your TAM and we'll come talk to you about it.
So we have a wide variety of support options for our customers. Some customers have TAM, some have support center access. Regardless of whatever support method you use that channel to communicate this feedback to us. Because number one, we'd love to see you go kick the tires on this. And number two, we'd love to have your feedback. And I know that's another one of those repeating themes on this show. Now, Sam, the other question some might be wondering here is, if I go to docs.tanium.com, am I going to find out how to use this, or where do I go to find the documentation specifically?
Yeah, so the Connect documentation will be updated to show you how to use the Sentinel connector and destination. Also, the documentation will be available on the marketplace listing where you take advantage of the connector itself. So you can, both places will be of reference, and you'll see documentation there.
So Sam, as we wrap up today, any last remarks, things you maybe didn't quite get a chance to say earlier, you want to make sure and emphasize for our audience today?
No go backs really, other than just we think that a lot of our customers will find a tremendous value from this, and we're already getting a bit of that feedback from those that we've spoken with, but more feedback is always appreciated. I think we'd love to hear, as you kick the tires on this, what would be useful to you, and we're committed to building that in. So looking forward to hearing from many of the viewers of this show of what they thought and how we could improve this.
Thank you for joining us and showing us this marriage of these two platforms. It's hand in glove. I mean, obviously any SIEM platform is going to have all kinds of data sources. Tanium can give you some really rich, insightful data going into that platform and then coming back out of that platform. Now the ability to take control of those endpoints with the real-time at scale capabilities of Tanium. So thank you for sharing this with us. I know our customers are going to be eager to try this out, and we would love to hear from you. Again, use the support channels and let us know what you think of this. And if you'd like some help getting this set up, obviously it's brand new. Again, reach out to the support channels. You might even end up on a call with Sam himself to walk you through it. So that's what we enjoy doing on the show, is bringing you the people inside Tanium so you can meet Tanium as a company, see what our engineers and experts are working on to make your life easier. So again, thank you for joining us on today's episode of Go-Tanium Tech Talks. And until next time, Go-Tanium.